And this is the truth of it, is that it's an endless process of trying to keep our heart open to the experiences that life is bringing to us. And when we keep our heart open, even the painful things when they arrive, we can be in it. We can just allow ourselves to be present for it and not push or pull or prod or poke and make ourselves want to run away from the pain or attach on to the joy. So go ahead and close your eyes and sit up straight and tall. And as you do, I'm going to read the quote one more time, but let's just ground into your body here so that you can kind of just take a moment to sense where are, if the kleshas of yoga, the first two that I just said earlier, the sense of the causes of our suffering being attaching to what we want and avoiding what we don't want. So simple, right? But what does that mean to you today? Maybe not yesterday, but right now, what are you attaching to that you want? Where is your sense of desire kind of latching to a place where you lose your ability to be in the flow? And sit with that for a moment. Just know, what is it that holds you tight? And this doesn't mean that it's bad to have desire and that it's bad to want to have things go well or to have joys arrive in your life, but it's to recognize that you can be in the flow of it. When the joys arrive, be in the flow of them. And then the second of the kleshas, this avoidance, this sense of I'm going to avert from what I don't want. I'm going to latch on hard to what I want and push away what I don't. And how does that show up for you today? And it can be the big things, right? The big things, but it could also be something small, like I don't want to go to work today, or I don't, I don't want to get out of bed today. I don't want the weather to be like this today. But it could also be the big, huge things too. So, just what is it that's kind of preventing you from being in flow, from being able to feel ease in your body and in your mind? This quote by Mark Nepo, one more time. Everyone knows firsthand that life is messy and painful, beautiful and unpredictable. The endless practice is keeping our heart open to the whole of it. The endless practice is keeping our heart open to the whole of it. So as you sit here, can you feel into the heart space? Can you allow yourself to settle and relax a bit, even if it's hard, even if it's not working? Kind of fake it till you make it a little bit. Just see if you can open up the heart, even a crack, to allow yourself to observe the whole of it. Whatever joys are coming, whatever sorrows are coming, whatever challenges are arriving. See if you can notice where all of this lands in your body. When you have attachment and avoidant right now, where is it landing in your body? What does that feel like? And can you breathe in the whole of it in that heart space? Can you let the breath kind of allow what's here and offer yourself just a little healing balm of ease into whatever part of the body mind that you just kind of discovered might be holding some tension or whatever it is you're feeling? Can you breathe the intention of some ease? Ready, place your palms together. Maybe bow in to the heart space a bit and just allow your eyes to rest within, reside within the heart. Cultivate an intention here. How can you create flow and ease around loosening the holds of these kleshas? Can you untether just a bit from your grasping? Release the hands. Let's find our way onto our back. All right, so as we stretch out and lengthen, let's take joy in our practice. Let's take refuge in our practice and the ability to let your body kind of just be in the full present moment awareness. There's no expectations of your practice. Try not to have goals. Just experience the here and now. Okay. So stretch your arms overhead if you're able and make a big reach in your body. Maybe stretch your right side and then stretch your left side and come into that beautiful side body opening. Draw your knees up toward your chest and hold on and rock a little bit, swaying from side to side. And let's circle, rolling in your knees, rolling across your sacrum a little bit. And see if you can let one of your intentions for your physical practice today be about discovering ease. It could be in very tiny little places in your body, but it could also be more global. And then follow that trail. Sometimes if we can just crack open a little bit of ease somewhere in our body, it can help us with this, detangling of our attachments and avoidances. Okay, so let's open up the knees away from the midline and bring them back in. Allow your focus, your attention to be on just creating softness and surrender somewhere in your body. Okay. Right knee into your chest, left leg long on the ground. Let's move your ankles, wake up those feet, wiggle your toes, get some freedom. Maybe here you can feel the ease of your skull resting down on the ground. And then let's switch sides. Left knee into your chest, right leg long on the ground, and move around again in your ankles, wiggle your toes. And then open up to a big giant star on the ground. So stretch your limbs wide, reaching into your fingers and toes. And as your exhale comes, draw your knees in, pick up your head, and come to a little snug ball. One more time, opening expansively. Feel that spaciousness, freedom. And then as you exhale, find the squeeze and the hugging it. Put your head back down on the ground. Put your legs back down on the ground. Stretch your arms overhead again. This time, interlace your hands in some way. Just have your hands clasped in any way that's comfortable. And then let's walk the legs over to the left side of the mat a little bit. And then see if you can inch your shoulders a little bit over to the left. So you find kind of an arc in your body, but be mindful that you're not turning toward the left. Your shoulders still ground, your right hip still grounds, your right rib still ground. So you have this big open side body stretch, and then open yourself up into that. Breathe into the fullness from your hand to your foot on that right side. And then come back to center. And let's come to neutral for a moment. You can bring your arms down if that feels better. And then walk your legs over to the right, and then arms overhead, and walk your shoulders over to the right. Arms make that arc as well. So find that C shape in your body, feeling the left shoulder, left ribs, left hip, and left femur bones sink into the ground. Where is the ease? Maybe in your skull again, maybe in your face. See if you can reach into the left side of your body well. And then come back to neutral. Put your feet on the ground.
Okay, arms down at your sides. Let's lift up your pelvis to a bridge and just kind of shake your hips for a minute. Just let things get loose, let your ribs move, your belly, your hips, your glutes, let them be soft and let everything just kind of jiggle around. Ease, ease, ease. All right, and then put your pelvis back down onto the ground. We're going to lift to a full bridge now. Arms up overhead as you inhale, pelvis lifts high, press into your feet, and as you exhale, lower your pelvis and your arms back down. Let's try that one more time. Ground into the feet, lift the pelvis, arms stretch overhead. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower yourself back down to the ground. Feet wider than your hips, maybe to the edge of the mat, arms stretched out to the side like a T. And let's windshield wiper our knees left and right. Just opening up the sides of your body just a little bit. You might feel this in the space between your ribs and your pelvis. Maybe you feel it in your hip flexors or in your side joints or your low back. Just kind of see what you're feeling. We're going to turn this into a bigger twist. You can always back away from this, and you can always have a block handy if you need it. We're going to drop the knees, keep the feet wide, drop the knees over to the left. You're going to pick up your left foot and put it to the outside of your right knee, and then descend your knees toward the ground. If this is too deep of a stretch, maybe try taking a block underneath your knees somewhere, or back off and just do a different twist where our knees are not bound like this. Now open up through the side, the right side, maybe your low back, your side waist, the front of your hip, the side of your hip, whatever you're feeling. Breathe there. And then come back up. Put your feet together on the ground. So just have a moment of feet together and then bring your knees into your chest. Head comes up. Put your feet back down onto the ground, separate them wide to the edges of the mat. Windshield wiper your knees just a little bit, and then we're going to drop the knees over to the right, pick up the right foot, put it on the outside of the left knee, use a block underneath one or both knees. If you need to, try not to overdo the twist. Open up your chest, breathe wherever you're feeling the stretch. Just let your body open to the best of your ability. Where's the ease? Maybe the backs of your hands can rest and your palms can soften. And then come back up. Take your feet flat on the ground, hip width apart. Let's lift the pelvis and one more jiggle. Just let your hips rock a little bit, shake a little bit, let everything loosen. And then stretch out to a star one more time. A big open body pose. Exhale, knees into your chest. Pick up your head, let your low back sink toward the floor. And then release your legs and roll over onto your side and come up to your hands and your knees. And as you find all fours, such a nice thing, right? So you can start with cat cows, or maybe you want to start with some side movements of wagging your tail. Sometimes that deep twist can need a little bit of nurturing for the low back afterwards. So just find whatever pattern of movement your body's calling for. So as you open up your spine here, try not to have attachment to anything other than paying attention to how you are breathing. See if you can just feel the flow of your inhale and exhale and let the body do its thing. Okay, you don't have to think so much. Maybe it's some cat cows. Maybe your rib cage wants to roll. Maybe you want to stretch back towards child's pose. So see if you can just follow the body's wisdom, detach from expectations of I should be moving this way or I want to be moving this way, but let the body decide. We're all going to find our way eventually. Take your time to child's pose. Walk the hands out in front of you, feeling that deep reach and length in the body, stretching through your ribs, your shoulders, all the way to your hands. Drop weight into your hips. See if you can let the breath travel like an air bubble coming up from the bottom of a pool. See if you can let it travel down your spine, like it's trying to touch the anterior portion of your spine your breath is, all the way to your sacrum. Relax that and come back up onto all fours. Let's find a twist here. Reach your left arm up in the air. And then exhale and slide that shoulder under for a full twist here. Enjoy what this does for your spine and your vertebrae. Where can you bring your breath in this posture? Where's the ease? Again, maybe start with your head. Melt a little bit through your skull. Relax your eyes down. And then reach that arm back up in the air. Hand comes down onto the ground, switch sides. Other arm lifting high. Exhale and slide that shoulder underneath, feeling the twist that's available here. What is it doing to your breathing? Can you feel the full expression of what's available in the breath right now? Now reach that arm back up in the air. Hand down onto the ground. Let's find dog pose. So as you stretch up, feel that deep length in the body. Take your time here. Maybe you want to pedal your feet some. Maybe you want to sway your hips some. Maybe your head wants to bobble around. Maybe you want to knead the floor like a cat with your hands or your feet. So just kind of explore yourself in dog pose. You know, what's here this morning? Can you give yourself over to the yielding? Sometimes that quality of yielding where we drop into the earth can give us, it's a different quality of ease. Instead of just relaxing totally, yielding has a little bit of energy where we give something and then we receive something in return. So let yourself yield, hands and feet. Feel the rebound through your body as you push off your hands and feet. All right, walk your feet forward to Uttanasana, feet hip width apart. Relax. Maybe a little shimmy of your hips again, maybe a little shimmy of your head. Soften your shoulders, bounce a little. What feels good? And then find a halfway lift. Feel the extension of your spine. Let's stay here for a few breaths so we feel that open heart, that long side bodies, long spine. Take your femur bones way back. Maybe your shins need to move forward a little bit so you're unlocking your knees. Feel the bottom of your feet spread out and yield. Feel the sit bones lift up and high. And then while we're here on the blocks, so grab blocks if you don't have them yet, and walk your hands over to the right so that you have a little bit of a side stretch going on. Allow your left hip to stretch back. The inner thighs roll back. Feel the heart extend forward. And then let's come back to center and let's walk our blocks over to the other side. Finding that movement to the left so our right hip can stretch back. A little inner spiral of your thighs. Feel the bottom of your feet. Notice if your left rib cage drops lower than your right. Square that up and lengthen the heart forward. And then come back to center. Bend your knees a lot. Let your head melt down. Take your hands, interlace them at the base of your skull, and tuck your chin toward your chest. A little bit of a tiny pull on your hip. And your hips again if you want. Release your hands. Drop your sit bones down and then rise all the way up to stand. Reaching the arms up, feeling that extension. Open things up as best as you can. Feel the heart lift. Can you feel that energy of the heart lifting toward the heavens? We have this sense of opening yourself, bringing in that endless practice of keeping the heart open to whatever is unfolding. Okay, let's cactus open the arms. Feel that big spread of the heart and chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades a bit. And then exhale and round the spine. Forearms come to touch. Tuck your chin. Inhale, arms come up high again. Interlace your fingers so you can really extend through the armpits and the shoulder blades. Feel that lift up. Feel the ribs lift off your hips. Lean back a little bit if it feels nice. And then a big swan dive forward, folding down. Shake your hips a little bit if you want. Inhale for a halfway lift. Get the spine to grow, thigh bones back, melt again. Let's step the left foot back, come to a lunge, blocks under hands if you want them. Feel that extension through the heart. Feel the hip flexors start to wake up in that back leg. And let's flow here. Straightening the front leg, bowing your head a bit, bending your front knee, opening the heart. And where is the breath? Surrender into the flow of your practice. See if you can just allow yourself to take refuge in what you're doing. There's no expectations. There's nothing to accomplish. The past and the future are out there. It's the present that we're in right now in your body, in your breath. Ground yourself. Feel the roots. Yield your feet. Come on up, crescent lunge when you're ready. Arms come up high if your body allows for that. Reach and open up. Let the heart expand. Endless practice of keeping the heart open to it all. And we're gonna grab onto the right hand, the left hand with the right hand, and feel a little bit of a tug and lift like that C curve we did in the beginning. Feel the hip flexor open up here. Feel that big open heart. And then release your hands and bring them back down. Back foot comes forward, fold. Soften through your skull all the way to your spine. Spine all the way to your skull. Find the breath. Halfway lift when you're ready. Open up through the heart. Exhale. Relax your skull. Step your right foot back, come to a lunge. Before you start flowing in movement, ground yourself and feel that quality of yield. Give your weight down into the earth. Feel the earth support you right back. And the give and take. When you're ready, start to flow in your practice, bending and straightening the front knee with breath. Go slowly, wait for your breath to take you where you're going. Maybe soften your skull as you bow your head. Where is ease? Keep searching for ease. We're trying to live within the flow instead of holding on, avoiding, attaching. We stay in the flow. The best place to get there is to reside within your breath. Ground your feet when you're ready. Feel the lunge come and just feel your roots rising up when you feel ready. If you need to take a different position with your arms, by all means, find any position that works for you. Feel that open heart. Stay in your lunge. Feel the extension of your ribs lifting. Keep the base of your skull nice and relaxed. Where's the ease in your body? Can you find it across your jaw, your tongue, your eyes? Maybe your hands. Okay, let's find that clasping of your right wrist with your left hand now. Feel a little bit of an extension. You don't have to go far. Be very mindful of what your low back is feeling like. You can have a little core support here. And then release your hands all the way to the ground. Take your front foot back and feel dog pose come. Relax your skull. Where is ease in this pose? Ground and yield through your limbs. Feel the fullness of your inhale, the completeness of your exhales. When you're ready, come forward to a plank. There's no rush to get there. If your shoulders have trouble supporting you, put your knees down on the ground. Shoulder blades down away from the ears. Feel the heart open. Can you hug your torso? Feel that core support wrapping around you like a corset without restricting your breath. When you're ready, lower your body down all the way to the floor.
Let's roll the shoulders a few times, start to heel into the back of your body again. Descend your tail. So let's try to protect our low back well. So we're engaging our core. We're feeling the pelvis ground. Inhale, lift up to an open heart. Exhale and relax. Try it again. Maybe you have a different arm position. Maybe a different type of back bend wants to live in your body. Ready, reach back onto all fours. Let's do a big circular motion with our pelvis, with our ribs, a wagging of tail, whatever feels good. We're going to take our right foot straight back behind you, curl your toe under, and then cross that foot over. So your foot's on the ground, right foot's on the ground on the other side of your mat. Square your chest and ribs toward the floor, and then turn and look out over the left side of your mat. So you're looking at your right foot and feel that openness in your side body here. And then come back to center. Pick up your right foot, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring your knee to your armpit and turn and look at your knee here. Breathing well. And then reach that leg back. Keep it up in the air. Take your right foot, left arm up in the air. Take a deep breath in. Feel the support across your pelvis, your back body. Exhale, elbow and knee come underneath you. Inhale, bring it out. Exhale, hand and knee come down onto the ground. Let's change sides. Left foot. Stretch it back, curl your toes under. Cross that leg over to the other side. We're going to turn to the right and look out over our left foot that's on the right side. Feel that side body open. How's your breath? Come back to center. Pick up your foot. We're going to lift the leg now. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring that left knee toward your left armpit and turn and look at it. Find your breathing. And stretch that leg back. We're going to take our right arm out in the air, thumb up. Engage through your core, stabilize yourself. Find your breath. As you exhale, elbow and knee come underneath. Inhale, bring that out. Hand comes down onto the ground. Move around in any way you want. So you can shimmy your hips. You can come back to child's pose. Whatever feels good in the body. Eventually, you're going to find your way all the way up to dog pose again. Feel that extension and length. Breathing well. Okay. As you open your body up, see what it feels like to just knead the ground again with your hands and your feet. Feel that yielding. Give way into ease here as you settle all four limbs. Melt your skull. Relax your tongue and your jaw and your eyes and your cheeks. Full breaths. And let's walk our feet forward. Come to Uttanasana. Shimmy your hips again if it feels nice. Inhale for a halfway lift. Notice when we come back to these poses, are things changing? Exhale. Melt down, soften your skull. Grab onto the base of your skull, tuck your chin toward your chest. Release your hands, rise all the way up, arms coming to the sky. Open the heart, and then trace down to the center of the body. Palms at your heart. Let's pause here for a moment. And just sense how you are, where you are. Feel yourself ground into the earth. Give way with your feet, unlock your knees. Feel like your breath can travel down. Your diaphragm surrenders, your pelvic floor surrenders, your knees surrender, the soles of your feet surrender. You allow yourself to just be in the flow of your breath. Whatever this moment requires. You ask yourself to be available. For whatever's flowing, whatever's changing, whatever's challenging. Can you just be present for it? Can you be available? Take a deep breath in, reach your arms up, open the heart again, and then we're going to turn sideways on the mat and take our legs wide to a wide-legged stance. Reach your arms up to a star, turn your feet out just a little bit, and let's gather some of that upward energy and drop it down toward a goddess pose. Release your hands slowly down the center line. And then as your breath comes in, lift that energy from the earth all the way up through your body. Couple rounds of this as you exhale, dropping down. Get yourself grounded and centered. As you inhale, hands travel up the center of the body. You can choose a different pathway with your hands, but just feel these bayous, the energy channels of downward energy and the channels moving up. Can you gather from the earth, lifting through to your body? Can you gather from the sky and drop it down through your body? Feel that you're a conduit between these two planes, that rooting to rise, rising to root. Next time we come toward a goddess pose with legs bent, we're going to stay and put your arms anywhere that's most receptive for you. Okay, ground into the four corners of your feet. Maybe you want to kind of sway a little bit to give a little bit of like, yes, thighs, you can do this. Maybe you want to bounce a little bit. And then after a little bit of kind of doing that, let go of the distraction of movement and be as still as you can. Let your breath be what you focus on. Feel the grounding of your legs. Try to let your exhales fully be here. Relax your shoulders as you open the heart. Where's ease? You might have to go searching for it right now. And then stand on up. Turn your right foot out. Take a breath. Come into Parsvakonasana. Elbow on your knee. Stretch your left arm over your head. Feel that extension through the side of your body. So even though we're not arcing in that C position through our side body, can you feel the length from your heel all the way through your leg, your hip, your side waist, your ribs, your shoulder, your arm? Ground into both feet well. We're gonna come back up. And let's turn our feet the other way, coming into Parsvakonasana. Left foot turned out, bend your knee, elbow on your knee or hand on a block, you choose. We're going to stretch that right arm over our head, shoulders down away from the ears. Can you again feel that fullness of the side body? From hand to foot, from foot to hand. Travel along your edge. After experiencing that fullness, make sure you feel both feet round evenly. Can you yield something here? Is there ease to be found? Maybe the palm of your left hand. Maybe the ease of your shoulders moving away from your ears. The release of your jaw. The uncurling of your toes. Let's find our way back up. Turn your feet straight forward. Bring your hands down onto blocks or on the ground and choose a pathway. Maybe your arms want to be in like dog pose. Maybe your hands want to be in between your feet. It doesn't matter. See if your head can go below your heart in some fashion. Doesn't matter where you end up, but just notice if your head can be below your heart and your heart can be below your pelvis. Feel the inversion, let go into it. Do your best to stay inside the breath. Where can you melt here? Let's turn back now to the front of your mat. Take your hands into dog pose, your feet into dog pose. So find that position again. And here we are in an inversion still. So feel the continuation of that yield, the giving to the earth, surrendering. We could all just learn the art of surrender to whatever's flowing. How much more ease would we be able to experience? Come forward into a plank. Put your knees down if you need to. Feel that strong, stable body. You are strong. You are capable of flowing with what is arising. You're capable of not running away from it. You're capable of letting go. Just feel that internal resilience and reserve. And then let's lower down to the ground. Take your arms out in front of you unless your shoulders need a different plan. Maybe a little wider than your shoulders, thumbs facing up. Take your legs wide on the mat. Take a deep breath in. And when you're ready, let's lift everything on up. Try to have as minimal amount of your body touching the ground as you can. The neck stays neutral. And then release. Put your hands underneath your head so your head can be soft and your nose has a spot. And let's just windshield wiper our knees. So pick up your feet off the ground, bend your knees, and just rock your feet left to right. We're going to come onto our right side here. Lying down on your side, you can support with a block underneath your head if you need to, or you can have your arms stretched out, supporting your head. Find your breath. I'm going to start this by just lifting our leg up. Left leg is off, right leg. Round your right side, your full right side, all the way to your foot, down into the ground. Now I have my arm out in front of me because that is the only place I can put my arm, but you can have your arm there or arm overhead. Lift your leg and your arm up. Left arm in the air too. Turn your left toes forward. Round into your leg. Find your breath. And then exhale and let that go. Now, most of you have heard me talk about the mouse hole before, so let's do that. So think of your side waist. You can put your hand there for a moment and imagine that you want a little gap for a mouse to crawl under. Okay, so as you exhale, draw in your side waist, engage that transverse abdominis so that there's a little gap underneath your side waist. Even if you don't leave the floor, you'll feel that sense of support, like you're tying the strings of your waistband on your pants. So draw that in and don't forget to let it go. Okay, so on your exhale, you draw it in, and on the inhale, you let it go. Okay, now let's lift our arm while we're still doing that with our breath. Start to ground your right leg into the earth. And now we're going to lift the left leg, engage your mouse hole. Now see if you can keep it engaged. Keep breathing. Toes facing forward, press your whole leg into the ground. And then relax that. Come on to your back, knees to your chest. Grab on. Okay. Feeling a little bit of rocking, a little bit of ease. Full breaths here. And then we're going to switch sides. Now you can either have your head on the block, your arm, at a right angle, or if your shoulder allows, then you can have your arms stretched out overhead. Legs are straight. Okay. I have barely enough room to do this. Okay, we're going to ground ourselves. Let's start lifting your leg up in the air. You can use your hand as a support to begin. Now, as you do this, can you feel that your toes are pointing forward, that the work's coming from the hips and the core and even the pelvic floor, not just from lifting your foot up. Okay, so feel that integrity through your torso and pelvis. And then we'll lift the arm too. Let your head relax. Where's ease? Even though there's challenge of holding on to balance, can we find that sweet spot where balance is not taking over in the sense of we have to grip, grip, grip. And then relax that down. And let's focus on that mouse hole on this side. So we're going to, on our exhales, draw our navel in. And on our inhales, relax the side waist down toward the ground. Just start to feel the work of the transverse abdominis and the obliques and their connection with the way you breathe. So the exhale is for engagement and the inhale is for surrender, which is different than we often think about surrender. A lot of times we surrender on the exhale, but for our core strength, we want to harness what naturally happens with our diaphragm. Okay, now we're going to add the arms and legs too. So let's start with the arm, lift it up in the air. We're going to engage that side body and then lift the leg too. Toes pointing forward, press your whole left leg into the ground. Feel that engagement of your side waist, the engagement of your pelvic floor. Are you still able to breathe? Where can you find ease? Try your neck. Try this the way your hand feels in the air. Relax that. We're going to roll onto our front now and come onto all fours. Wiggle around in your spine. Just release some of the tension that might be felt in your hips or in your back. Breathing deep. All right, when you're ready, find your way to dog pose. Feel that big, long extension in your spine. Deep breaths. Let's put all that work of the outer hips together now. So ground your toes and isometrically pull your feet apart so you feel that zing up your whole sideline. And then release that with the exhale. All your breath out. Walk your feet forward. Come into Uttanasana. Have a moment to shimmy your hips, to rock your spine, to move your head, whatever feels good. A halfway lift. Melt again. Next inhale, rise all the way up. Bring your arms to the sky. And then trace down through the center of your body. Pause here, hands to heart. Feel your breath rise, feel it fall, yield your body. Give way on that exhale, let your shoulders relax. What does this moment require? Can we be adaptable and change and flow? Find ease through these transitions of facing all the changing tides that are constantly, that's the nature of life, the constancy of change. Let yourself be the steady presence. Feel the rhythm of your breath, be the steady presence. Bounce your hands down. We're going to find our way into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Now, balance postures inherently give us this challenge of, wanting to hold on, having attachment, having an aversion even. Okay, so let's see what's in the mind when we practice this. Let's try to find a sense of flow and ease. If your balance is off, then your balance is off. Then you tap your foot back down and you try again. See if you can just flow and let the essence of the pose be about ease more than about control of balance. Turn your right foot out. Now, I have very little space, so I'm going to start with my stance much shorter. You might be starting in Parsvottanasana. You can bend your knee. You can even start in triangle pose if you want to. Look at your right foot and make sure it's pointing, straight. We don't want to turn the foot in or out. Grab a block to bring your hand on. A hack is to bring the block a little further out to the right. And then start to find Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Lift that leg. Now feel your pelvic floor, your side waist, your outer hips, all the support we found on the ground. Can you find it here? Can you move your shoulders away from the ears? Can you move your foot away from your tail? Can you feel your crown move away from your tail? Feel that open space in the body. Where is ease? Where is the sense of I am stable despite the flowing movement of balance? Mind and body are stable, even if you are not physically still. And lift that leg a little higher. And then find your way back out of the posture. Come out the way you came in. And then pause for a moment and have your 2 feet on the ground and enjoy your 2 feet on the ground. Take a moment to just notice how nice it is to feel grounded. That we have this option available to us always, that we can always feel our feet on the ground, even when we feel very unstable in our life circumstances or in our choices or in just the way our heart feels at any moment. We can always root ourselves into the ground. We can always root ourselves in our breath. Let's feel the other side. Okay, the left foot turns, try to keep it straight on the ground instead of turning it in or out. Bend your knee or come from triangle pose, however you want to get into the pose. Hand on block, lift that right leg up in the air, unlock your left knee, start to open up your hip, open up the chest, be active in your core, be active in your hips. Reaching that arm up in the air. Remember your mouse holes. See what it feels like to lift the leg a little stronger. Feel the crown and tail move away from each other. Can you feel some roots go down into your foot and your hand on the block? How's your breath? Even if your body's all over the place and you're not very steady, can you be steady in the mind? Can you be steady in finding ease? Let go of attachments. Let go of aversion to balance. Just be curious. Giant step back from whence you came. Put your feet together, or not together, but hip width apart. Stand in Tadasana. Arms down at your sides or palms together. And just again, feel your roots. Maybe turn your palms open for a moment so you can feel that you're both grounded and receptive, that you are ready and steady. Move into your breath, be aware. You be available for whatever is right now. Take a deep breath, lifting your arms all the way up to the sky again. And exhale, and fold forward. If you're sideways on your mat, you might want to turn toward the front of your mat. We'll do one more vinyasa. Take a deep breath in, halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Relax your skull. Maybe grab onto your head one more time. Give it a little gentle pull. Maybe you want to wag your tail. Do whatever's needed. One more time, a halfway lift. Melt again. Step back to dog pose. Feel that extension in your body. Length, the openness, the inversion, the yielding. There's so much available here. Feel into the posture. Feel into your breath. Come forward into a plank. Sturdy self, stable self. Lower yourself down. Any back bend of your choice. So find what your body needs. And then relax and release. Come up onto all fours. Wiggle around a little bit. And then release back towards child's pose. And maybe your child's pose requires a little rocking. Maybe your child's pose requires arms down at your sides or overhead. Whatever it is that you need right now.
Let your body relax in this pose.
Make sure your head is supported, so if you need to, you can put a block under your head. Feel that your body has the ability to surrender to itself. You can surrender to the ground. Let's find our way onto our back. After doing some asymmetrical things, it's nice to find symmetry. So let's go ahead and lift the pelvis and put a block under it for a moment. So that you can just let your sacrum kind of settle itself after doing some one-legged standing, after Ardha Chandrasana. It's good to rebalance the pelvis. So feel the support of the block underneath you and melt your body. Feel the shoulders relax open, melt into your skull, let it relax back into the ground. Feel the fullness of your breath. So as you are ready, you can come off the block. Now just ask, when you bring your pelvis back down onto the ground, ask your body, what do you need before Shavasana? So everybody's different in how their body kind of finds neutral. So is there any part of you that we haven't kind of opened up? Maybe you want to do a reverse pigeon pose or a happy baby, or anything else, a twist, anything that your body is requiring. But take a moment to ask the question before you just mindlessly do something that you think you should do. Your body's wise. It will tell you what it needs if you listen. And then do what's being requested. There's no right or wrong way to finish your practice. You take your time. I don't know if you've ever tried this, being at your home, maybe turn me off right now and just settle into a really long Shavasana. Maybe keep me on, but when I say it's time to get out of Shavasana, you ignore me and you stay for 20 more minutes. But remember, for Shavasana, as you prepare for it, whether it's going to be just a couple of minutes or longer, make sure you're warm, make sure you're not distracted by a blowing fan or too much light or props touching you. Make sure your body is at ease in whatever way you need, and take any support that's required. Try to minimize the distractions that are going to come. And once you settle your body down, see if you can imagine the imprint that your bones would leave if you were lying in sand. And just pay attention to it. You don't need to shift and adjust and try to make your bones have a perfectly symmetrical implant. Just see what it feels like to melt. Where can you drop into the sand more? Shavasana is all about learning to surrender.
learning to give way, to feel ease, practice the art of ease. Let your breath be full and melt everywhere you have access to. And allow yourself to receive Shavasana for another breath, where you feel your body drop those bones into the sand again. Open, endless practice of opening your heart to it all. Challenges, the adaptations, the joys. wiggle your fingers and toes. Just come into a bit of awakening the body that feels good.
Actually finding yourself back to your side. Taking your time to come up to a comfortable seat. As you come, notice, do you feel more resourced? Has your practice giving you some capacity to be at ease, to be adaptable, to be grounded? Let's place our hands together. Let's offer this energy, what we cultivate. We bring this energy forth through our mind, through our words, through our actions, through our energy. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.